Hey, what's up, everybody? So, in this video, I want to talk to you about one of the most desired traits that a man can have, and why this trait is so important for men today. Proverbs 19:22 says that what is desired in a man is kindness. In the culture that we live in today, there's this culture war between alpha male, feminism, toxic masculinity, and so on and so forth. And so there's this idea that if you're on the alpha male side, you have to be this macho man, this tough guy who doesn't need anybody, who is above everybody, and work on yourself, work on your fitness, work on getting money, right? And nothing else matters. Then there's the beta male, where culture says this guy is the soft. This guy is soft. This guy is a run over, a pushover. This guy is a simp. And so I think that we should look at what the Bible says a good trait that a man should have versus what society says. So Proverbs 19:22 says, "The desired trait of a man is kindness." Why is that important? It's because as men, what separates us from women is our physical nature. And so physically, you can be strong. And with that strength, right, comes the ability to overdo toughness. If I'm going to speak from the masculine side, the where's a toxic masculinity. And then there's the aspect of, okay, a man shouldn't be soft, a man shouldn't cry, right? Why is kindness one of the desired traits in a man? Well, if you think about the aspects of like relationships, parenting, marriage, work, friendship, nobody likes a jerk. I just put it that way. Nobody likes a jerk, but nobody wants to see somebody be ran over. Nobody wants to be taken advantage of. Even if you look in one of the most popular ideas when it comes to like workplace problems is a toxic work environment. And one of the things that prevents a good work environment is when the manager is a jerk. The manager is one of those people who steps on people, puts people down, lifts one person up uh, in a way that is unhealthy to the team, puts himself over the team, and uplifts himself and his accomplishments over others, right? So a man who's kind, what does that look like in the workplace? Well, kindness, right, shows up in a way that there's a certain level of respect that you have for people and a certain level of respect you have for yourself. I hold myself, or the man who's kind holds himself to a certain level of standard of respect, that there's certain things I'm not going to do. There's certain things I'm not going to do to people. And I'm going to be who I say I am when you see me and when you don't see me. And my reputation that I have is a reputation of kindness. In fact, there's a difference between being nice and kind. Myron Golden, one of the people that I listen to, who's an incredible speaker, entrepreneur, and coach, he talks about the difference between niceness and kindness. A nice person is a people pleaser. A nice person is a person who lets people run over them. A nice person is also a person who doesn't speak the truth, will lie to people to get what they want. A nice person is a person that wants to take advantage of people and use their maybe their wealth, their influence, their connections to get what they want. Kindness is a kind person will tell you the truth to help you, not whether it hurts your feelings, but the kind person is going to tell you the truth to help prevent you from hurting yourself. A kind person is going to look out for the benefit of others. A kind person is going to lead by example, versus a nice person may lead at the expense of others. A nice person may lead at the expense of himself not completing the mission because he's trying to be nice. And so, niceness, right, and kindness is something we start teaching kids. It's the first thing we, as parents, we start teaching kids. We teach kids when you go to school, be kind. And we tell our kids, okay, don't let anybody push you, or no, don't let anybody take advantage of you. Don't let anybody push you over. Tell the truth, right? We try to instill in our children kindness if you're a good parent. In marriage, nobody nobody wants a spouse that's a jerk. Nobody wants a spouse that's a pushover. Nobody wants a spouse that is always uh, nagging. Nobody wants a spouse that's hard on you. There's a saying that there's a way to say anything, but it depends on how you say it. And so a kind person knows how to find a way to say the right thing at the right time. Like, for instance, you and your spouse could be on a health journey, right? Trying to get in shape, trying to get fit. And you may want to, in a way, help and correct your spouse, maybe your husband or your wife. And there's a way to say it and being kind, and then there's a way it's being nice. And the way to say it and being kind can be a way that encourages, uplifts, motivates. Then there's a way you say it where you're being nice that is untruthful, dishonest, and oftentimes deceptive. Then there's a way to tell the truth in which, or not tell the truth, or you're trying to tell the truth, like, okay, but you're telling it with an attitude. You got a stank attitude. You're unhelpful, and it causes that person to just degrading, and that person is not motivated. That person is not encouraged. And so again, it's a way to say anything when you use kindness. There's a popular saying, "Kill them with kindness," right? There's a way to even be kind to. The Bible says, "Love your enemies," right? So how do you even love your enemies? Being kind. Well, the Bible says, when they speak ill of you, pray for them. Now, most people couldn't do that. Like, but that takes a level of kindness. Now, kindness comes from a foundation of I respect people because everyone has intrinsic value and how God sees them. And so if God sees them that they have intrinsic value, so do I. Now, here's the thing. You can be kind even to the worst person, and kindness isn't being a pushover. Kindness isn't being a person that gets taken advantage of. Kindness says, I respect myself, I respect you. So certain places we're not going to go, certain words we're not going to say, certain things we're not going to allow. That's what and kindness not only looks out for the person involved, like you, but it also looks out for the people involved. Number one, if we look at Jesus, Jesus is the ultimate example of kindness. There was an example in the Bible where Jesus went to the temple and he saw people were selling stuff to people and defrauding and robbing people basically in the temple. The Bible says Jesus went and got a whip and he started whooping people out of the temple. Now, some people might say, well, Jesus was mean. That was mean and Jesus, that wasn't nice to Jesus. Well, it was kind because if you realize that he was not only looking out for the people who were defrauding people, but he was also looking out for the people who were being defrauded. So when you have a characteristic of kindness, you're looking out for the people that is involved, and then you're also looking out for people for yourself. And so when you look for kindness in the workplace, right, you're looking for someone who uplifts, encourages, someone who is leads by example, someone who is not all for themselves, but they benefit, right, for when they see other people succeed. And kindness in parenting, right? We teach our kids how to share, right? How to give, how to receive. One of the things that even in how you give, right? You can give in a way that's nasty, that's mean, that's cruel. Like if you see somebody on the street and they're begging for money, you just throw a dollar at them and hit them in the face and drive off and laugh. Did you give them what they want, which was nice of you, but you did it with an unkind attitude versus, you know what? Maybe you didn't. Look, so there's different. Let's say you didn't have the money to give, right? But you saw the person, and in your heart there was a level of kindness because you see them as God sees them, and you say, you know what? There's been times I haven't had the money on me to give. I just didn't have cash. I roll down my window and I say, you know what, sir, ma'am, I don't have it to give, but I'm praying for you. Or whatever I have to give. I may have some water. Ultimately, kindness sees people as God sees people because you can give somebody what they want, right? And still treat them unkindly. And so the reason why kindness is desired in a man is because in the day and the time we live in, where there's this ideas of masculinity and feminism and alpha male, beta male, and whatever male you whatever male idea you want to make up, it's important that as men of God, we take on the characteristics of kindness because it's necessary in how we raise our kids and how we build a culture of work in our workplace, how we build culture in church. Have I've boy, I've seen pastors who will get up and preach sermons in such a nasty and arrogant and self-righteous way, and they're condemning people and telling people and all and telling people's business in the pulpit, and like, so kindness is needed in the culture that we live in. Then I seen pastors who's so nice they let people just get away with everything. They don't say nothing. They don't speak of anything that the Bible says for them to speak of when it comes to sin and to promote what's right and what's truth, right? So kindness is a desired trait in the way we raise our children and our marriages and how we steward and how we manage the workplace, how we manage our friendships, right? You can be a kind friend or you can be a nice friend. You can be one of those friends that just want to do everything that everybody say do. And now you a run over. You that kind of friend that get taken advantage of, and you are doing more giving than you are receiving in the friendships that you have because you're trying to be so nice to everybody. I know people like that. You can be in a family relationship, brother, sister, 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 brother, brother, where you're just the garbage dump for people to dump garbage on in the family, meaning emotionally, physically, financially. People only call you, you're so nice, you don't know how to set boundaries. People call you for money and you just, here you go. No, no, no boundaries, no accountability. People call you all times of night just to vent and dump trash in your mind, and you can't sleep. And they they went to sleep, had them a good night of sleep because what was troubling them, they dumped it all on you. So you can be nice or you can be kind and say, you know what? Because I respect you and I respect me and I have a certain level of boundaries and respect that I have for you. There's certain things we're not going to do, certain things I'm not going to allow because I'm a kind person. Kindness is necessary in today's environment and today's culture that we live in. So I hope this video has helped you. If you have a comment, leave a comment below, like, subscribe. Peace.